뭐 당연히 선생님들도 중요하지만 I think the most important thing is to become your own teacher. I think this is very important. I think this is also something that many people forget, especially in Korea, because we 선생님이 너무 존경을 해야 되고 너무 everyone is such a good student. But I think at the end of the day, in music also, I think you have to fight and find ways to, because at the end of the day, there is no one way. And we're always trying to explore and we're looking for different things. And the best way for one to learn is to listen to oneself. And I mean, to train oneself to listen and to hear the difference and to know what you should be aiming for, I think is very important. So not just to listen to your teacher, of course you should listen to your teacher, but not just to listen to your teacher, but also to train yourself to become your own teacher. I think this is very important.
안녕하세요. 저는 서울예고 1학년 정희수입니다. 오늘 레슨 받을 곡은 베토벤의 피아노와 바이올린을 위한 소나타 1번 1악장입니다. 원래는 다른 베토벤 소나타를 하고 있었는데 선생님께서 구조적으로 구성이 다양한 곡을 해보면 어떻겠냐고 하셔서 이번에 하게 됐습니다. 아무래도 다이나믹을 잘 표현하는 게 중요하다 생각해서 활이랑 이제 비브라토의 적절한 조화 같은 거를 잘 이끌어내야 된다고 생각했습니다. 섬세한 음악적 표현과 극명한 다이나믹의 대비를 뭔가 제가 원하는 만큼 나오지 않는 것 같아서 그 부분을 배우고 싶습니다.
Play alone? 혼자 한 번만. Do you hear? You go pa. You go. Just at the end of the bow, you use a little bit too much speed. One more time. Better. 근데 벌써. I can see you're playing like this. One more time, just from. So he puts a dot, right? Da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da. And that's probably why, your reason, right? But you can also play a dot without putting an accent. So. You don't even have to leave the bow, the string. I'm still playing the slur with the dot. Again, from... Can you use a little less bow? No. You don't have to use the whole bow. But 쳐지고 있어 계속. So you go. When you play this quarter, you should already be thinking of the next one. So it's not da-da-dum and then next, but it's. Can we play it one more time? Yeah, so you have to think ahead. Otherwise, you're already late. Play it one more time together. I mean, at the moment, I play mostly. I teach when I teach master classes everywhere. I mean, I do teach master classes when I go to different festivals, and I love to work with young students and musicians in terms of chamber music. This is something I really enjoy. I do it a lot also when I'm in Korea, and I mean, it's a very important part of what I do. It's always exciting to meet young people, and I think it's very important that also as a player that we are always in contact with the next generation, that we are able to help, and that, yeah, I mean, it's also something that I like to train for myself. I mean, it's something that I also use for myself. I think, you know, learning to recognize and to find ways to solve problems and to find ways to, yeah, I mean, it's just a big process. It's part of the process of what I do as a player as well. So I think it goes hand in hand. It's very much, it's both. It works in complementing each other. But still short. That's too long, huh? One more time, from just there. Now, 이건 또 너무 짧아요. So I would do it the opposite. Play this one a little bit shorter and this one a little bit longer. Again, you do. There's always a crescendo. It's just very much piano. One more time from you. But you know that he puts 2 bar slurs. So. Then you have, right? It's a big crescendo, but don't do it before. And you can play, I think, slur 되게 가능할 것 같은데? No? Can you try once? Fine. Good. Off. 2. It's just one beat. Huh? Why do you play this? You can play this, no? The bowing. No? You should play the bowing. go it's until the end. Huh? This is the hard part about Beethoven, is that you keep the fortes until the fortes and then play the subito. That's the hardest thing about Beethoven. One more time. Yes! Yes! Okay, now we play it again from here. Sorry. 21, bar 21. Off. It's it's from fortissimo to piano. It's a huge draw. Okay, I'm gonna play it for you once. From the same place. Yeah? 거기서부터 해야 될까? Do you understand? It's extreme. Extremes. Huh? You have to get used to this. One more time.
평소에 선생님께서 자연스러운 음악적 표현이 나온다고 얘기를 하셨던 것 같고요. 단점은 테크닉적인 부분을 읽어내야 할 때 약간 끈기가 부족한 것 같은 느낌이 있어요.
Okay, so it's better, but this has to also be, you have to play this a bit earlier. Yeah. 여기서부터, can you play once alone? 혼자 한 번만. So, 이럴 경우에는 just play without this D, 여기까지만. But until fortissimo. Play. Short. Now. Yes. Do you hear? Now it's good. Now it's perfect. No, one more time together. From 24, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25. So you have to start earlier. 이걸 먼저 시작하고 the F sharp has to be on the downbeat. So do you understand that it's already there on the beat? Slow, bum, bum. It's go ahead. Don't get stuck again in this sforzandi that don't exist. Here.
연습에 되게 집중이 안 될 때도 있고 뭔가 이게 내가 하는 게 맞나 이런 생각이 들 때도 있었는데 뭐 선생님도 그렇고 부모님도 그렇고 저를 응원해 주시는 분들이 많았고 또 재능을 또 노력으로 더 발전시키고 싶은 마음이 들어서 계속 하게 된 것 같습니다.
이거는 이 슬러는 일부러 하는 거예요? 일부러? 왜요? 이유가 하면 이유가 있어야 되는데. Why would it be?
활쓰기가 좀 편한.
편해서. 편한 거는 좋은 변명이 아니에요. Sorry. I have to make you 불편하게 만들어야 돼요. Don't go the easy way. I think you should play it the way it's written. Or but he doesn't write 이거는 it's just a bowing. It's space. There's no slur, so it means no slur. You understand? One more time. So you have this hairpin, and then crescendo, subito piano, and then he gives you 5 bars of no dynamic, means stay piano, and then he suddenly puts a forte. I hear a lot of sudden fortes. Do you hear it? Can you go from here? One more time, from the dolce. 부상이 걸리거나 or 부상이 있거나 이러면 I think there is something wrong. That I mean, of course, it's very unnatural to play an instrument, but if you have pain, then there is something that's not right, that's not working for you. And so I think for sure you have to find what it is that's making you be in pain or have injury. I think as an essence, it's really important for us to be injury-free. And just to ask ourselves, if there is an injury, there has to be, something is not working. So, I mean, I don't have any secrets, but I think definitely everyone has something that works for them and doesn't work for them. And I think it's very important to listen also to your own body. It's just piano. No. It's not like that. Put a diminuendo rather. So one more time. And I think it's too much bow. It's also very simple. It doesn't have to be so short either. One more time. No accent. Now. Why? Why? Why do you play? 갑자기 여기 왜 이렇게 커졌죠?
좀 스타카토를.
But can you do it in pianissimo? Because it's actually less, no? One more time. But don't get slower. 아까도 이랬는데 it's too long. 다라람, 다라람. You can play the crescendo but without getting long. forte until the end. It's you have to play the forte really until the very, very last moment. One more time. 좀 마무리를 하자면, there are a lot of dynamics. Yes, he writes a lot of dynamics. There is always a reason for the dynamics. There is also a reason why sometimes he connects the dynamics, and sometimes you have subito. So, for example, you have sforzandos one after another, or you have actually written a crescendo. It's not just it doesn't also just mean loud and soft. It's also a character. And we need to also look for the character, but sometimes for me, when I hear you play, when you play a piano, it also means slowing down. But piano does not actually mean that you should lose tempo. You should never lose tempo. Piano is only exciting when it is in that tempo, right? And the same is with fortissimo. forte. forte라고 빨라지는 건 아니잖아요. 빨라지는 법 없잖아요. It's the same kind of logic. We have to learn to play. First of all, I think you need to practice with a metronome. It would help you because then you know where you're speeding up or slowing down. You know, you have a strict meter telling you how, you have the metronome going with you. I think first you should really practice with the metronome. And next, you should really look at the dynamics one more time. That you also remember to play the dynamics until the very end. It's not half dynamics. With Beethoven, it's really not. Especially this early sonata, or all sonatas, but it's really that you have to play extremes of the dynamics and until the very last moment. The most exciting thing is about when he writes the crescendi, and then you're very much at a forte, and then you have suddenly a drop at a piano. This is very important. This is what makes the whole character of this piece, and we have to learn to do that. And don't add bowings that don't belong. So if he writes like this, that means there is no slur. And if we're letting our bowings be determined by comfort or convenience, never. That should be something we should be very embarrassed for. We should be very embarrassed about, to say, out of convenience. If you have a good enough reason, then I'm open to hear it, but convenience is not a good enough reason. Do you understand? Also, why? What for? Right? I mean, if he writes this slur, I think it's meant to be slurred then. And listen to your bow changes. It's very important. And especially with this, when every little moment has to be in control, and especially when the crescendos actually matter, you can't put a crescendo where it doesn't matter. Why should this have a crescendo? Why should all ends of the notes have crescendi? What for? Right? So again, listen to yourself, and you are the best judge for this. But you also have to train your ear to notice this, because but you've heard the difference, yeah? And this is very important, that you hear the difference, that you fix yourself. Huh? Do you understand? Yeah. You have to try to make it as unphysical as possible. 나야. Thank you. Bravo. 감사합니다. 수고하셨어요.
음악을 할 때 행복해 보이고 또 음악으로 사람들에게 위로가 될 수 있는 그런 연주자가 되고 싶습니다.
음악은 너무 it's just such a small part of I mean I feel like that's just part of the system that they're just slaves of the system, which is unfortunate, but they also have to do that. And but at the end of the day, it's such a small part of music, and it has nothing actually to do with music in some ways. And yeah, I mean, once all that is over, I want them to know that there's the light at the end of the tunnel, that there's so much more to life than just exams and competitions and tests and auditions, and it's much more, and I think life is also much more exciting afterwards.
안녕하세요. 저는 한국국제예술학교 중학교 1학년에 재학 중인 박하은입니다. 이 곡의 이름은 사라사테 카프리스 바스크이라는 곡이고, 이 곡을 선택한 이유는 이 곡에서 나오는 여러 가지 테크닉들을 배우고 뒷부분에 나오는 A 마이너 멜로디와 그리고 뒷부분에 나오는 바리에이션들이 정말 저에게 흥미롭고 재미있게 다가왔어서 이 곡을 선택하게 되었습니다. 저는 다른 현악기들에 비해서 그 바이올린만이 가지고 있는 그 부드러우면서도 강렬한 그런 소리가 있는 것 같고, 그런 것 때문에 바이올린을 좋아하는 것 같습니다. 훌륭한 아티스트 분들께 받는 의견과 아이디어가 정말 중요하다고 들었는데 오늘 마스터 클래스에서 크리스텔 리 선생님의 다양한 해석법과 아이디어를 듣고 배우고 싶습니다.
No, it's great. It's fabulous. I mean, you play very well. It's all good. You get all the notes. It's all very correct, and it's all great. Sometimes it's a bit too good. I don't know. Sometimes it's a bit too healthy. 가끔씩 하다가, you know, 특히 처음에는, I mean, you can start, I think, a bit more quietly. Maybe sometimes you can also explore character in such sense. My one big issue with this beginning, or just this rhythm, I mean, look, we have 3 beats, yeah? What is the character that you're looking for? 특별히 3 beats, if you think of 3 beats, is there a certain something that comes to your mind?
춤곡의 느낌.
Right. In this bar of 3 beats, what is the hierarchy, priority of the beats?
First
Always?
I think not.
It's a trick question. Always?
Not always.
Not always. Mm-hmm. And is it always one important beat?
No.
How many would you say? Last beat. Yeah, it can be. My point is actually that the first beat is of course very important, but you don't have a first beat if there's no relation to. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be the 3rd beat, but sometimes it can also be the 2nd beat. But we need to hear this a little bit. And sometimes now all I hear is just first beats. Bar lines is what I hear. And then on top of that, I hear a very, very big pickup on. Yeah. Right? I mean, it goes not. Do you understand? So the pickup is always too heavy. Yeah? And then let's go on. Sometimes you can play. But you know that we have a little more variation. That it's not just. I mean, this is also the thing. This piece is, I mean, I don't know how much I can give you, information I can give you. I mean, it's, you know, you do it well. You do it with all flair, and it's very virtuosic, and you get it all. But, you know, what can I give you? So this is what I can give you. Yeah, let's take away a little bit. So let's just go from 두 마디 전부터. So I think it's very important to recognize everyone's strengths and weaknesses, and but I also think it's very important to get inside the head of the student in order to make them understand in the best way they can. And but I think you have to speak to different students. I mean, because everyone is very different, and I think it has to just, the approach has to be, I think, different for each person, and I mean, also recognizing what they can and cannot accept or recognize. And I think a big part of that is just making oneself aware of things, because normally, I mean, we can all do things, but we also just don't know how to practice, or we don't know where to go because we are just not aware enough of what we can or should aim for. Yeah, I don't know what dynamic you have already. 처음에, I have a piano. Not that maybe it doesn't mean anything, but it's not, you know, you don't have to go. Imagine just, it's the 2 of us or the 3 of us. It can be very different. It can also be a little bit cheeky, you know, you don't have to be, I'm here and you can do it later. 좀 이따가 그렇게 해도 될 것 같아요. Better. Okay, now we do an experiment. We do 2 plus 2. 2 bars plus 2 bars.
It's now you do. It's 2 and then 2 what you do, but now we're going to do 4. Can you try? I won't play for you. Now, you do. I asked for 4 bars, right? So the third bar should actually be more of a going forward and not sitting down. So if anything, you can do. You understand? Yeah. So 4 bars. Think longer. I don't want to hear this 2 bar thing every time. One more time. Now. 여기까지. That was one sentence. 한 문장. Do you understand? That it has like this. It's not 2 bars and then 2 bars and 2 bars, but that we have an 8-bar phrase. It's an 8-bar phrase. Yeah? And then you have another 8 bars that go differently. But you know, if I were to speak to you and to pause at every word, it doesn't make sense. Yeah? I mean, you need to know the whole structure of the sentence. Yeah? I mean, it makes much more sense. And music is the same. Sentence structure is very important. Yeah? So 한 문장을 이렇게 끊어서 가지 말고 정말 그냥 can you just present me the one sentence as it is? Huh? One more time. It's very important, and then it's the same afterwards, so I won't bug you about it. Go. New sentence. Continue. Down. That was the second sentence. You got this phrasing, right? It's clear to you, right? What I mean. So you have first phrase, right? Yeah. And then second phrase until here, and that's the second phrase. It's 2 long phrases. Huh? Now, how you go, if you have 2 phrases like this, how you would build this crescendo and this so-called high point is also very important. Do it one more time. Just play the second phrase one more time. 여기서부터. Yeah? Can you do me a favor and just play? Can you play just the first beats with the piano and phrase? Show me the phrase.
요즘 연습하면서 제일 힘든 부분은 활 테크닉이 아직 다 잘 잡히지 않고 완성되지 않아 곡을 연습하거나 아니면 연주할 때 활 쓸 때 불편함을 느끼는 것이 조금 불편한 것 같습니다.
I hate to tell you, but the thing is, you have very much your habits in this piece. That's why I have a hard time teaching you this piece, because it's all inside. It's very good, it's good. Let's maybe find something else to do. For example, you know, all of your down bows and up bows are the same. And I think that also has to do with why this piece is you're playing this way. I don't think you're really in control of the piece, but you're being controlled because of your technical restrictions or habits, or maybe we don't even have to play. I mean, I would love if we could play it as an exercise, to play very slow, and just for you to hear how you use your bow and how you why you play the way you play. Can we try that? I would love just to work on this one phrase, if you don't mind. 다 좋았는데 마지막 따람 빠람. Why? One more time. Okay, one more thing. Can you imagine that your up bows have a little bit more air in them? So, okay, it's not like this, but it's a bit like this. Do you understand? So it's not horizontal, but it's a bit more room, air, like, yeah, a little bit more inhale in the up bow. So, do you know? Not. 들려요?
네.
Again? Again? Now, no accent on the third beat. No, so if you would play it with notes, with left hand, it would be. Right? Not. Do it slower and take care also of the pickups, the upbeats. Why? Why do we put an accent on the third beat? Is there a reason?
No.
It's not. Okay, so don't do it. Now, play 8 bars and go towards the middle of the phrase. So, do you understand? You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 힘들죠? 어렵죠? This is what you have to listen for. And then when you play the music, it comes very naturally. What we don't realize is the music always comes from the bow. It's all coming from how we use the bow. It's not sometimes, sure, it's enough to think, okay, I played a crescendo, and sometimes it comes with us. When we have very good technique, when we are trained, and when we've practiced enough, it comes with us. But most cases, it's not, because we haven't trained that, we haven't practiced that. And this is what we have to really practice. Yeah? You have to learn to practice a bit differently. And at the same time, you always have to hear what you're doing, because like sometimes you don't really realize what you're doing, right? But you also have to know how to practice and what to practice for. But if you are listening yourself for what to fix, then you know. Yeah? So it shouldn't be me telling you that note should be weaker than this note. It's not about that. Do you understand? That it's really that you have a reason for why you play the way you play. Yeah? Yeah. It's a showpiece, and you can do whatever you want in the end, but still, I mean, it's nice to have a little make sense in what you do. Yeah. Yeah. If you want, you can play, for real. But I think you should practice it more. But yeah.
I think choosing repertoire is very important. There are pieces that fit you, and that fit you like a glove, you know, like that it's just you and you can do it very well. And then there are also pieces that you have to learn to express differently, or whether it's language, or because every composer has a different language, every composer has different vocabulary. And we're basically training to create a larger, that we have more tools at hand. And that's the whole point, is that we are trying to add and multiply and to train different things that we need for each composer. And I think that's why, in the end, it is very important to have a variety of repertoire. It's not big repertoire, but I think that if you have a wider selection of choice, and that's what teachers are for. And I think that they're there to help you recognize what you are missing and what you need help with. And for that, you can find pieces that will help you in that aspect. And I think that's also really important. And I think we forget, and of course the system in Korea doesn't help, that you have to play a certain piece, and it is unfair, but it is just part of the system. But so when you're out of that system, I think you should really take the opportunity to add to your repertoire in pieces. 좀 남이 안 하는 곡을 찾거나 남이 너무 메인스트림하지 않은 곡들을 애드하는 것도 중요한 것 같아요. 왜냐면 특히 뭐 찰콥스키 말씀하신 대로 찰콥스키나 멘델소hn이나 뭐 너무 우리가 흔히 많이 들은 곡들이라 우리가 연주를 하기 전에도 우리는 귀에 익은 게 너무 많기 때문에 그거를 또 벗어나는 것도 하나의 하나의 hurdle. It's a challenge already, so yeah, I think to find things that can push the envelope for you, can push your own limits, and to make you become a different person, or to become not a different person, but to become a different version of yourself is, I think, really important.
제가 슬픈 순간이 있을 때 위로를 해주기도 하며, 같이 무대에 올랐을 때도 관객들과 저에게 기쁨을 공유해 줄 수 있는, 저에겐 절대 없어서는 안 될 가족 같은 존재인 것 같습니다.
I'm not going to work on the previous section because I think you do fine. We don't need to work on it. And now look, you don't listen. You're not hearing what you're doing. And this is when it's very dangerous for us, when we're not listening to ourselves. We don't have anything new to go for. Also with such a piece, you can't be creative if you're not listening to what you're doing, right? Yeah. And the whole idea of spontaneity and creativity with such a piece is that you make something new on the spot. You know, like you come and it's not like, oh, I've planned to play it this way. I will play up bows and down bows, all the same, and this is how I want it to be. No, the whole beauty of this piece is that you can, you know, you can take it out of your pocket, something new every time. But that's what you've practiced. You've practiced the flexibility. Not perfection as in, I'm going to play every note in tune and I'm going to play every single bowing and this way and that way and I have to get this harmonic, and it's not about that, you know? It's about, at the end of the day, it's about having fun, yeah, this piece. But we have to practice also in different ways in order to make ourselves be able to enjoy it at the moment. Do you understand? Yeah, I'm just blabbering. But do you understand? Yeah, it's very important that I really think you have to also change the way you think about this whole thing, because it depends on us, right? It depends on also how we see this piece. And so I suggest either you pick it up much later or you start from zero now and you learn to listen to yourself. I mean, it can work in every situation, every piece. But you have to learn to listen to yourself. You have to learn to, I mean, if we're playing accents, we have to know that we're playing accents. And if we want to play accents, that we should play accents. It's not because we are suddenly playing accents. Do you understand? It's not that, you know, we should want to play the way we want to play and be in control. And that's what you should practice, to be in control and to also be connected with your ear and your body. Yeah. It's very important. Do you understand? Yeah. You'll go listen to it and you'll hear it. But you know, it's as easy as recording yourself and listening to 본인이 녹음해갖고 연습하고 듣는 거랑 똑같은 거예요. I mean, if you listen to yourself by recording yourself, you will know also what's wrong with you, what you're doing is wrong. And everything, you don't need a teacher for that. You can do it yourself. Yeah? So this is what I would strongly suggest for you. Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
관객분들이 제 연주를 딱 들었을 때 저 연주자는 정말 음악에 함께 빠져들게 하는 연주자다라고 느끼게 하는 연주자로 기억되고 싶습니다.
둘 다 너무 잘하고 네, 가끔씩 어떻게 도와줘야 될지 it's always a challenge. It's always nice to meet new people and to meet young people and to see what they have to say, and it's always nice. It's always refreshing and always to find ways to help them. It's always also very it's a nice challenge.
제 단점에 대해서 좀 더 잘 알고 앞으로 좀 어떤 걸 보완해야 될지 그런 것도 알게 됐고, 뭔가 다이나믹에서 어떤 식으로 더 잘 표현할 수 있는지를 알게 된 것 같아서 좋았습니다.
저희 연주의 부족한 점을 잘 알 수 있어서 좋았고, 그리고 프레이징마다 다르게 표현하는 방법에 대해서도 곡에서 생각을 많이 해야 될 것 같고, 다음부터 다른 곡을 할 때도 마찬가지로 연주와 연습 모두 다 저 자신을 제가 하는 연주를 듣는 연습을 해야 될 것 같습니다. 감사합니다.
I mean, it's always to make good music. I always want to be closer and closer to good music making, and it's something that's always, I'm always aiming for. It's always, I mean, there's no such thing as perfection in music, but that's somehow we're always running towards that. And there are moments where you feel that it can be. So this is what I'm running towards. It's the way I can communicate with the audience. So it's my way of expression. It's my way of, it's how I get something across, right? It's the thing in between. So Yeah, I mean, it's not my best friend. It's also not my. It's not my. No, it's anyway not. But like, it's something just, you know, it's the thing that gets my point across. To me, the violin is like a bridge.